Lyft says that they're capping their fee at 30% of what that passenger pays. So that sounds good, right? Well, in this episode, I'm going to show you how that 30% fee cap is really just a rebranding of that old 70% guarantee, why it's a PR move more than a pay raise, and how it actually brings Lyft closer to what Uber's already been doing. I've done a lot of episodes on Uber lately, but today we're going to break down Lyft's latest update. That's that new 30% fee cap. So on your screen, it looks clean. It's a pie chart, it's a headline, and it's one simple number. But drivers see a cap of 30% and they think, okay, at least I know what Lyft is taking. But when you look at the fine print and compare it to the old 70% earnings commitment, well, the story changes. Here is what Lyft's essentially telling us in that message. We're capping the Lyft fee for each month at 30% of the passenger payments. If our total fee ever goes above 30% when the month ends, we'll pay you an adjustment. And we're moving from a weekly program to a monthly program. So on the surface, you get certainty, right? Lyft will never take more than 30%. That's the psychological play. One number, one cap, very easy to remember. Do you remember the old system? That 70% earnings commitment? The language was all about what you kept. You get at least 70% instead of what they cap. We only take 30%. Same general math, completely different framing. From a marketing standpoint, they flipped the story. Before, it sounded like a driver benefit. You're guaranteed at least 70%. Now it sounds like a company promise. We're limiting ourselves to 30%. Nothing about your actual take home is guaranteed in that headline anymore. It's all about their image. This whole screen is a PR document. Just look at the pieces. It starts with, "We heard your feedback." That's classic crisis management language. Then they give you that bold headline, introducing the Lyft fee cap. They drop in a big pie chart to visually reassure you, this is all we're taking, we promise. They didn't change it to make it easier for you to calculate your pay. They changed it to make it easier for them to communicate a story. We're on your side, we're limiting ourselves, and we're transparent. That's not an accounting language, that's marketing language. Here is what really changed under the hood. They moved from weekly to monthly. That makes it harder for drivers to track if that cap is ever actually hit and how often you're getting any adjustment. They highlight that 30% number, but in reality, their average take is often much lower. So capping at 30% gives them plenty of room to surge their cut when they want, while still being able to say, hey, we kept our promise. Yes, they could say they're capping their fee, but practically that doesn't guarantee you that your actual share of each ride just got better. It just guarantees they won't cross a number they probably weren't crossing consistently anyway. And if you've been watching this channel, you know Uber plays that same game. They love talking in averages and global percentages. Our take rate is around X%, but when you open that app and you see individual trips, that's where they're taking way more than that. Lyft is just catching up with a friendlier wrapper, a 30% cap, a cute pie chart, and a "we heard you" message. Different branding, same concept, use a single number to calm drivers down while the real math happens in the background. Here's what I want you to take away from this. Don't make business decisions based on marketing headlines. Track your own numbers, what that passenger paid, what you got, and how it looks over the month. Use Lyft and Uber as tools, not as your financial advisors. They're going to frame things to make themselves look generous. Your job is to look at the data and decide if it actually works for you. So drop a comment and tell me, what did you think when you saw that 30% fee cap screen? And did you think it meant that you were getting a raise? And now that you've heard the breakdown, are you still buying the story?